Hey friend, Graham here from the Recording Revolution, and today I'm beginning a brand new series on how to record a song from scratch. This will be perfect for you if you're a absolute beginner or if you're just starting to dip your toes into the water of recording and mixing music at home. So in this video in particular, I'm going to walk you through what you need gear-wise to get started and how to set up your session and get your idea in your software at the very beginning before you even flesh out the rest of the recording. Maybe you, like me, write your own music. So right now I've been working on a song and I have a little bit of an idea. Now I want to get this idea into my computer so I don't forget it, and then I want to build it out into a complete song. Now what you're going to need to record music from home is very, very simple, and lucky for you, this is the absolute best time to be making music, so it's crazy affordable. You're going to need a computer. And I'm assuming you already have one. In fact, the computer that you already own is perfect for this. Don't go out and buy a brand new computer, so use whatever you got. You're going to need an audio interface. That is the box that allows you to plug in your guitars and microphones and keyboards and get them into your computer. I'm going to be using the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. This is a simple USB audio interface, $99, sounds amazing, one of my favorite companies. It's hard to beat this deal. You're going to need at least one microphone, ideally a large diaphragm condenser microphone, but you can also be a dynamic microphone. Now, I'm going to be using a Behringer B1. This is the original microphone I purchased for my home studio over 15 years ago, and I still have it. I still love it and still use it today. $99, brand new, very, very simple mic. You're going to need some studio headphones or monitors to listen back to what you're recording. And for me, I'm going to be using the KRK KNS 8400s. I've got also the 6400s. These are great, great headphones, but really any headphones will do. Preferably a closed back headphone, meaning there's no open mesh here. It'll help get rid of the bleed if you're recording and the microphone picks up stuff from your headphones. You don't really want that, so closed back is my favorite for recording. And then finally, you're going to need a piece of recording software. This is usually called a DAW, a digital audio workstation. And there are a lot of free ones out on the market if you're getting started. Today, I'm going to be using Pro Tools First. This is an absolutely free version of Pro Tools. I normally use the regular version of Pro Tools, but I'm going to show you in this entire series how you can do it with a free copy of Pro Tools First. Other options might be GarageBand if you're on a Mac, or Audacity or something like that. And that's all you need to get started. Now, what I'm going to do is create a brand new session inside of Pro Tools First and get my idea recorded so I don't forget it, and get the session set up so I'm ready to build out on the rest of my song. All right, let's start making some music. Now, the first thing I want to do is create a guide track, which will have a couple of key elements that will make the rest of the recording process much easier. So let's first load up our software. I'm going to load up Pro Tools First. You would open up whatever your software is. You want to create a new session. Mine doesn't have a name yet, so I'll just call it New Song in A. And now I've got a brand new blank session here in Pro Tools. Now, what I want to do first is make sure that Pro Tools, my software, is talking to my interface. So I want to make sure that I've got the right output and audio engine set up. Looks like I've got the Scarlett Solo USB set up here, so we're good to go. That way it's not your computer's built-in audio card or sound card that it's looking at. You want to make sure your software is looking at your audio interface you plugged in. Next, I want to get a click track or a metronome track inside my session. This is because playing to a click track will give me a lot of tightness and consistency, whether my whole band comes in and plays one at a time, or if it's just me or just you recording every part yourself, you're playing to the same tempo over and over again. So we want to make sure that that's the right tempo and we've got one of those click tracks in place. I'm going to go here to track, create click track, and take a listen to what the current tempo is on this session. All right, a little fast for my song. And what we can do is change the tempo. I'm going to go ahead and look at the transport window here, pull that up. And I'm going to uncheck this conductor track so we're in manual tempo mode. And right here you can see the tempo is at 120. I have no idea what the tempo is of my song, but there's a cool thing in Pro Tools where you can find out the exact tempo of your song by tapping it in. All I have to do is click inside here, find the T key on my keyboard, and then hum the song to myself while I tap the letter T in time with pretty much quarter notes for the song. Bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum. So it looks like 70 BPM is about my tempo. Let's take a listen. Sounds good to me. Now that my tempo is set up, I can start recording what I call the scratch track. Now, this is sort of an instrument that's the main hook of the song that tells you what to play along with. That doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to re-record it later or record it with different instruments later. In my case, all I've got right now is the main guitar riff, so I'm going to play that in time with the tempo and create a loop out of it that I could play along to if I wanted to, or at least I can build my song around. So the first thing I want to do is create a track for that. I'm going to go to Track, New, and I want to make one mono audio track. Mono is very important here because my source is mono, meaning it's one cable plugging in I'll probably use as opposed to two cables. Typically, you want to record mono tracks because you have one microphone. That's going to be one mono track. You would only record stereo if you had two microphones that you wanted to go onto one track, like maybe drum overheads or a stereo acoustic guitar where you have two microphones, or if you had a keyboard with two cables coming out, but that would be two inputs. This will only be one input, so I'll go mono audio track for today. Now what I want to do is change the name of this track so that it's not creating audio files called audio 1.1 or audio 1.2. That would be really hard to find the audio if I need to go back and get it later. So I'll name it something more memorable like Scratch Guitar. And then now I need to plug in my guitar. I'm going to use my acoustic guitar for this scratch part, and I'm not even going to mic it up because it doesn't have to be pretty. I'm literally going to plug in an instrument cable to the side of my guitar and then plug that into input 2 on my Scarlett interface, which is the instrument input. I need to switch the input from line level to instrument level because this is an instrument level signal, not a keyboard or line level or outboard gear signal. So it's a little bit different. And then I'll turn up the gain so it's at an appropriate level. And let's see if we're getting some signal in the interface at least. Looking good. So now all we need to do is make sure that the track inside of Pro Tools is ready to record it. I want to make sure my input is set to interface input 2 in this case, because that's where I've plugged in my guitar. And then I want to record enable the track and see if we're getting signal inside of Pro Tools. Looks like we're good to go. So now all I'm going to do is press record and play along for about 8 measures till I feel like I got a decent pass of the hook, and we'll see what we've got. All right, unrecord enable that. And I think the first half was pretty bad. I missed a note or two, so let's see if we can just find the second half. Yeah, let's break that with the B key, select the first half and delete it. And then let's go ahead and drag this back to bar 2. We'll leave a bar of count off. And then I'll go ahead and trim this back so we have a full 4-bar loop. There we go. So now this is something I could loop by holding Command D. And now I've got 4 times through the riff. And we're set to go. Now you can build out the song. You could record a pass of the entire song start to finish. This is all I have right now in the songwriting phase, so I'm going to just keep it at this loop. But now I've got the tempo pretty close to where I want to have it. I could always adjust this later, and I've got at least a scratch guitar track to give me the hook and the vibe of the song, and I'm ready to start building out my real session. But before you go, I want to give you a gift. It's something that I call my 6 steps to a radio-worthy song. It is a PDF download as my gift to you that'll help you walk through the 6 steps that you absolutely must walk through anytime you want to create a song that you want to share with the world. Radio ready or radio worthy is a term that I use for a benchmark in terms of how good the quality of a song is in terms of production, recording, mixing, all that stuff, whether you're going to be on radio or not. This guide will help you walk through everything step by step by step, and it's absolutely free. To get it, just go to radioreadyguide.com. I'll put the link below in the description box and here on the screen. It'll give you a great framework if you're new to recording or mixing or producing music in the home studio, walk you through beginning to end. So check it all out at radioreadyguide.com. Until the next video, my friend, have fun, make great music, subscribe to these videos if they're helpful, and we'll see you on part 2 of the series.